Well, I hope you're excited and are ready to be educated. In this interview, you're going to be meeting a scientist of trichology, one that is absolutely kind of taken my heart, but also my mind when it comes to education on an area that is so blossoming right now. It's trichology. So I'm not going to waste a lot of time to talk about her. I want to talk to her. And Martina Candido, I want you to introduce yourself because you are more than just a scientist of trichology. You are a woman on a passion and a mission. So tell us a little bit about you and welcome to Hair Loss University and Hair Solutions TV.
So first of all, thank you, Jeffrey Paul, for this interview. I was very happy and honored when we talked about it. My name is Martina Candido. I am a scientist. I'm a biotechnologist, and all my job is regarding to trichology, so the science that study and try to understand how to solve the problems of scalp and hair. It's a pleasure to come back here in the US with a new reality, which is this new association, Italian Academy of Hair Microscopy, that is a scientific association that do training with a microscope.
And it is not just a normal microscope. You guys have taken it into another dimension, specifically and designed for studying hair follicles, and all of the areas of that trichology information. You've really focused in on educating the professional to become a trichologist.
Trichology during the year have changed. In the past, trichologist was just people that was talking about hair, just people that were interested about hair. During the last years, trichology became a field of attention of medical doctors, of scientists, biotechnologists, and biologists, because there is this interest in understanding what can be wrong when we talk about our hair, and why people lose hair, why people have hair and scalp problem, and what can be a solution to it, what could be the right, for example, active ingredient, or there are tools, to support and counteract every problem.
Trichology, as you just said, is changed over the last 10 years at least, if not more. What is it now? What does trichology today really mean, and what does it offer to the public and to the professionals that learn and are trained properly?
So trichology today is this part of the science and of the medicine that try to understand perfectly what is happening about the hair. And today it is as well trichology in the hand of professionists that are trichologists, that have a hairdresser background, because they are the one that actually put their hands, in the head of the people. On the head of the people that have problem with hair. And now the trichology, so it goes from the hair replacement, goes from the hair treatment, goes from technology like laser, like we were saying, that goes from medical approach, and goes from hair transplant as well. So trichology in general today is everything regarding hair loss, hair problems from different point of views.
Most people that are wearing hair replacement think that they don't any longer have to worry about trichology or taking care of the growing hair, as if the problem has gone away, that we know there's a genetically predisposition. Then there's people that get treatments, all kinds of treatments, because there's a kind of a blur in what really is real and what's science and what is not. But in turn, they think they can grow hair from a follicle that has no longer the papilla attached and the hair growing from it. And then there's the people that have gotten a better education and said it's preventive hair thinning and hair loss and healthy growth. Give us those three again, because I think it's such a wonderful time to be around in trichology, because it's broadening, but it's broadening because of what you have done with your association. You have created a science-based study and educational program, and the instruments have been created now to really examine, like a doctor would examine the body.
What I would like to talk with you is talking about the person with the problem, so the starting point, and the solution, how to make them happy. In the middle between these two, there are many things that it can be done, but always regarding the starting point. So what's the problem of this person? How to investigate what's the problem? How to investigate and to perfectly understand if there is a problem that can't be solved that, for example, have some cicatricial situation, or a person that have problems of, for example, some deficiency in their blood that leads to have a problem to the hair. Let's say that it is just people that doesn't like the hair, doesn't like the way the hair are, doesn't like, for example, the thinning of their hair, even if it's like a natural thinning. So then leads to a solution, always depending the starting point. For example, a person that have a totalis alopecia, a person that doesn't have anymore one single hair in all the body, the solution in this case can be the aesthetical solution, even if there are still some treatment that doctor try, of course. But the immediate solution for them, it is to feel again themselves, thanks to a prosthesis, thanks to a hair replacement. And this is absolutely in the situation of trichology. Or, for example, a person that just giving birth, postpartum kind of hair loss. So in this case, she may need another kind of help that are treatment directly on the follicles. So treatment with technologies, treatment with product, how to take care about the scalp, how to maintain the scalp healthy. Or, for example, a person after chemotherapy that is having a moment in which the hair are regrowing. So there is a way to help those hair to regrow healthier and better by assessing the condition of the scalp, maintaining the condition of the scalp in equilibrium. Trichology is all of that, everything that regard a problem of hair that try to put the solution on the hair. And trichology is even people that have a perfect donor area, but for example having going through baldness in the upper part, that need the hair transplant and then treatment for hair transplant. So it's a very big kind of window, I think.
You need to kind of expose to us the association that you have created with these scientists, and you've come together in Italy. And let us know, what is that association? Because for the professional, there's a lot of education being taunted out there. Just like in the commercial consumer, there's a lot of stuff that says this grows hair, use this and everything works good. But you've already said to us, you got to know the examination of what stage or condition that scalp, that hair, that person's body and that health is. How did this come about, this association? Because it's just an incredible science-based structure for the professional to really be educated, certified, and trained in being able to do trichology correctly.
Actually, you know that I've been in the US from almost 10 years now, going always in Italy, but traveling to the US many times to do different kind of trainings. But what we realize is that there are things that are unknown outside Italy. There are techniques that we surprisingly see that we was using just in Italy. But this takes time to realize it, because you go travel, you see other people doing their job, but then you don't know exactly what they do. But after many years of coming there and train professionals, we realize that there are techniques and knowledge that are not known outside of Italy. And this is where we started to understand and to realize that our job of helping other professionals to help people with problem of scalp and hair, it's to educate them and to give them a bigger perspective, to give them the opportunity, thanks for example to microscopy in polarized light, to do a real trichogram, to understand the stage of the hair loss, to understand by extract a number of hair, how deep they are, if they are already rising up, if there is some interruption of production of protein, for example, if there is the anchor system that it's appropriate, or if there is an anchor system that is too weak. And if it's too weak, what is it is weakening it? If there are some kind of acids, if there are some kind of squalene, for example, if there are some production of our body that is going against the strength of the hair, and this happens because of lack of sleep, can happen because of low absorption of vitamins or proteins. I mean, there are many things that can be addressed with this technique. And at the moment that we realized that it was unknown in the US, it was the moment that we decided to build Italian Academy of Hair Microscopy. And then the second step, it was we started to do this and in the US in the 2021. But then after we did this course and our students start to do microscopy, then they asked, okay, but what's the science behind what I'm seeing here? What's the science behind what I'm seeing there? How can I better explain this to my patients, my clients? And this is when we decided to do an intensive trichology session here in Italy. And just last week, we had more than 30 centers from all over the world, US, Jerusalem, and Turkey, and from Puerto Rico, from England, a very international kind of class. And we started from basis, and we did 1 week, very intense week trichology from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. It was exciting for the students, but all of them was so excited to better understand what's behind it.
You've also put together a couple of other scientists that have incorporated as a team now in this educational format and association. Who are the other two that are with you that are the scientists and that are also trainers in the program?
So the other two are Dr. Gianluigi Antonini. He's one of the most expert in Italy of microscopy in polarized light. He have more than 5,000 slides analyzed in his career. And then he's the professor that is going to teach all the practical part. I'm going to teach all the theoretical part. And then there is Andrea Vanni. Andrea Vanni is the executive of the Italian Hair Restoration Society, which is a scientific association that works just with medical doctor and dermatologists. And he came to bring all the experience of everything behind the scenes. So how to treat, how to do a consultation, how to, study with the microscope, which is a scientific tool. And he's, expert in everything regarding the machine itself, the machine microscope itself. What is very important regarding our school is that everything, as you say, is scientifically based. Behind us there are the scientific Italian Association, and there are just doctors that works with us that do research. And even in the school that we have in April, just last week, here in Florence, with us there was Dr. Fiorella Bini, and she's specialized in essential oil in medical use. There was Dr. Flaviano Ponziani, and he's a microbiologist specialized in the microbiome and microbiota, which now is the new approach, because a lot of scientific research shown the connection between the intestinal microbiota and the skin microbiota in all the scalp and hair problems. And big Andrea, and he's one of the first doctors in Italy, dermatologists, that started to understand that all the people that was having a particular kind of health problem was having a same design, a same pattern in their head, and start to study the hair from the scientific prospect.
The leaky gut syndrome that Dr. Mike Hyman in the United States has exposed as a full realm of a holistic level of care, starting in the gut. That's amazing. You said something a moment ago too, Martina, that Italy, where thank God I've studied since I was a hairdresser all the way through the hair replacement and everything else. In Italy, the study and the approach to hair, scalp, everything is different. And you said it hasn't really gotten to the United States as well. And here's my theory, and tell me what you think about this. We have been in this country commercialized, and we have watched TV and we watch social media, and we see these stories and we see these topical products and we see these pills that are supposed to instantaneously transform us because the picture supposedly shows somebody going from bald to hair, or from heavy, overweight to thin, or from wrinkles to no wrinkles. And we have put aside the science, and we have chosen to believe that and try to follow that myth. The reality, and this is hundreds of years in Italy, has always been to really study, to the depth, whether it's art, whether it's hair, whether it's the trichology, is really to study it and get the reality and assess the problem, so then the solution can come from that. Is that a true theory in what I'm saying, that you feel from Italy to the United States?
Absolutely, yes. I think that here in Italy, there is, but from the consumer, starting from the consumer directly, there is the needs of understanding what there is that is creating the problem first, and then go and looking for the solution. While, like you were saying, maybe in the US there are more people that are choosing the solutions and go there and try everything, but without understanding exactly where the problem is coming from. So maybe they're treating the nourishment, and maybe the problem is the inflammation, or they're treating the the anti-inflammatory, they are doing an anti-inflammatory action, and maybe the problem is because of the antibodies, the immune system. There are many things. There are a lot of things to know and to understand about hair before to proceed. There are many things to understand of the general health of the person, and then there are many different solutions. There are many solutions that can be definitive solution, but there are solutions that may be temporary. There are problems that can be fixed and can give a good result. There are problems that it can't be fixed, but they need to be arrested to don't go on, to don't proceed. But like we always say, we always need to understand the starting point that is different one person to the other. And this is what we try to insert in professionals' mind. But I need to say honestly that the things are changing. I see that the things are changing.
That's a good thing. Here's another part that I don't think the audience may know, but it's very important. I know in our trichology department, it's so important that we're able to not only examine, assess, and evaluate all of what you've said, but also in 3 months, we can begin to reassess and retest, which, because hair grows so slow and everybody has the epiphany that they're growing hair or not growing hair, you have the science in the training, as you've trained us and as your association trains, that we can go back on a regular basis, just like going to a doctor, to see, is the treatment working? Or do we have to adjust it a little bit? Or do we maybe miss a couple things in the beginning because there's so much to study? What do you think about that in regards to all the other trichology training and development that just do the one-shot examination, one treatment series, and there's no way to tell whether it's really working or not, except maybe from the placebo effect on the person's mind?
Thank you, Jeffrey, for pulling this out, because this is what is very important. This microscopy in polarized light gives you the opportunity to make calculation, give you the opportunity to understand the percentage of mass loss, so how your mass used to be thanks to the calculation with the ideal hair, and how the mass it is today with the average of all the diameter of the hair. Then gives you the opportunity to understand how deep it is the hair, so to calculate how many years or months this hair it will go in the next cycle. Give you the opportunity to understand if there are a lot of miniaturized or pre-miniaturized hair, so thinning, to calculate and give numbers. Thanks to this study, you can go after 3 months or 6 months to reassess and understand where the hair of the person is going, if it's going worse or if it's going better, or if, for example, we was able to stop a situation that by nature will go worse and worse and worse in the future. And this is very important in terms of prevention as well, because thanks to microscopy in polarized light, we are able to assess if there are problems that are not shown yet, if there are problems underneath the hair scalp, for example, in very young patients, in very young clients that we have in front of us. For example, people that are from a family with baldness history, we are able to understand if the thinning process already started, even if it's not already visible. Because see, Jeffrey, what happens, and I can see that you work with people that have hair loss problem as well, because you assessed exactly what they expect. They want to know what's going on, and they want to know if they're improving, really improving or not. And what we found important with microscopy in polarized light is that we can even understand if the process just started.
And with that said, one of the questions that our alumni ask is, we have problems with people continuing with their treatments, or they're not compliant. And I have continued, that's why I was so excited to get this interview and bring you into the Hair Loss University, because the reality is you don't have to keep motivating them if you show them the science of this is growing. It's below the surface possibly, or the diameter of the hair has changed its diameter, or your fallout is less. When it's real, they're not looking for another solution or to become lazy. They become more entrenched in their investment, more entrenched in their result, and they become a better patient. And that's the half of the key to success, is that the compliance of that patient is doing what the doctor, the trichologist, is explaining to them and educating them from their findings.
Absolutely. And what is interesting is that during the consultation, they will be able to see exactly the hair from the internal part, the hair sheath, the anchor system, by participating in the consultation as well, by asking what is this, what is that, what's my problem, by asking, realizing what is on screen that is not underneath anymore their scalp. And this it's really important for the compliance of the patient. Right. And what I can tell you is that they can't wait to come back and to understand their numbers, because this is mathematics, so it's reliable, it's understandable, it's clear, it's obvious, it's there in front of their eye. So it is important for them to have it, and they will be more relaxed on doing things, and more excited to see what's next and how it will be next. And you will see if they're doing treatment or not as well.
That's right. It's just like the famous Weight Watchers program. If they didn't bring people back on a weekly basis, weigh them and show them their success or where they had to move forward in their efforts, it wouldn't be around for 20, 30 years or 40 years, however long it's been around. I'm excited about what you're bringing to America. I know that we're going to post some of your seminars and educational programs and all the literature down below. We're also excited, we've invited you and your whole team to be a part of the Hair Loss University. We'd love you to continue to give education, because besides your wonderful beauty and education, you are just an incredible scientist.
So, thank you. Yes, thank you. As you know, our mission is to help people to help other people. Our mission is to share what are our knowledge. Our mission is to close the gap between the science that is, a little bit more. Not more advanced, but more taken care of about trichology, and just creating a bridge between Europe and USA, and doing a work team with all the people that want to join us. And we think that this is very important. And thank you for having, because I see that your mission is very close to ours.
It is. It very much is. And it's wonderful for the listening professionals. Your association is about education. You don't sell product, but you also have the wherewithal to send them to get the right instruments and the right, the right tools, the right examination. So it's a kind of a package of not only education, but a business model that can be very successful for both the professional as well as the consumer who is seeking to find a solution to their hair thinning and hair loss. So Absolutely. We thank you. We thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell your other two scientists I said hello. I can't wait to interview them and have them share their knowledge too. We'll be talking very soon. And for you that are listening today, I'm sure you want more. I'm sure you've been enticed by Martina's education, her knowledge, and attracted by her long hair and her accent. So let me just say that I hope, will be back with us, and you need to go down below, see the information, and know that we're going to do everything we can to make that education in Italy be more effective and more powerful here in the United States. So remember, beauty begins within, and you're beautiful helping other people become beautiful inside and out. I'll see you soon.